Welcome back. Well, a woman was given a painting because her friend didn't like it. Another person found a possible cannonball on a hillside in Virginia. Antiques expert Paul Brown has been digging into these items, and he's here now with what he found. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Nice to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you as well.
So let's start off with this painting because it looks really nice.
It really is.
Interesting.
It's painted by a guy named András Szabó, who is arguably among the most prominent Hungarian painters that emerged out of Hungary. He was born in 1922. His daddy put a paintbrush in his hand at 4 years old, and they sent him off. He exhibited some talent. They sent him off to the capital, to Budapest, to learn how to study to be a painter. And he was well on his studies, and a little thing called World War II broke out, sort of truncated his studies, so he bolted to Italy to finish up studying. Flash forward a couple years, the war is over, Europe is ravaged, you've got an educated young man. What does he do? He came to America. So he gets over here, he took a circuitous route, ended up in Philadelphia, learned how to paint more up there for the American market. And then what happened, he became infatuated with the American West. And so he took off out west through Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and he started painting these genre paintings of these sort of quintessential Western figures. He got the old gambler, he's playing poker.
Yeah.
He's got a cowboy and a saloon girl and a tavern owner and a marshal and all this kind of stuff. And he did very well for himself. He made a nice living. He lived the dream. This particular painting, though, what's cool about this is the viewer got it as a gift from somebody else that got it as a gift. I found this exact painting in one of the artist brochures. There's a picture of the artist actually painting this painting on his easel. Right. And with a handwritten note saying he's giving it to a friend. So it jibes with the story. So to me, you know, it connects the dots. It probably is the authentic painting. For the purposes of this, I believe that it is. It's worth $5,000 to $7,000. If so, I know, right? Bam.
Nice.
Not bad. Now you got to sell it out west. This is not going to sell as much here in the southeast, but you know, there's a market for it for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Not too shabby.
Right.
Moving right along. Let's look at the stomach tray.
The stomach tray. I call it a butler's tray because the stomach tray just doesn't sound so good. Butler tray kind of evokes that prim and proper, you know, blue blood northeastern formal living. It's made by the Meriden Company in Meriden, Connecticut, about 1862. There's a hallmark on it. I'm not sure in one of the other pictures, but I looked the hallmark up. It dates it from 1862 to about 1885. This Meriden Company is well known for making silver-plated ware, not sterling silver, and that's going to become more. There's the hallmark. Well, one of these. There's the hallmark. All right. Anyway, for making silver-plated goods. What's interesting about this is its neat trail of ownership. This woman's grandfather was a very prominent Florida attorney and a United States congressman from Florida. And this was his, actually more likely due to the monogram and the age of it, was probably his grandparents. If it were sterling, it'd be worth $8,000 to $10,000.
Wow.
It's not sterling. It's silver plate, 10%, $800 to $1,000.
Well, not too bad.
Well, not too bad. And if I happen to have a butler, which I never have, nor have I known, but I'd be proud to have him serve some cognac or some high tea on there, you know, hold it just like that.
There you go.
She's curved out for a stomach. She's meant to stand there ramrod straight.
Can I get one of those?
Huh?
All right, let's look at the cannonball.
Okay, and it's totally a cannonball. There was some discrepancy about whether or not it was a shot put or a cannonball. I can definitively say it is a cannonball. It is a 12-pound cannonball, hence the 12, shot by what's called a 12-pound cannon. Now, the 12-pound cannon was the artillery of choice from the Napoleonic Wars, about 1799, on through World War I, used extensively in the American Civil War. 1.5 million. Are we running out of time? Are we okay?
Oh, I think we're good.
Okay,
Keep
good.
on going.
So used extensively both sides during the American Civil War. You can tell this is actually a Confederate cannonball. If you look closely on the picture, you can actually see a seam. Now, the Confederate manufacturing at the time, they couldn't make the sphere like the Union could. So they made two halves and then welded them together. So it is an authentic cannonball from the period. Now, the thing is, 1.5 million of them were made, right? And actually 1.5 million were fired. God knows how many were made. So it's not particularly rare. You see them at shows, you see them at military shows, armament shows, that sort of thing. We actually featured one at Auction Kings in 2013. I reviewed that, refreshed myself. It's worth about $400.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Pretty cool.
I like
for
that.
A metal ball.
Yeah, I mean, and a nice story behind it, too.
Yeah, totally.
So you have an auction. Tell us about that.
Yes, I do. I'm working with Red Baron, my family company. We've just moved up to Roswell. We got a big auction April 7th and 8th, 109 Oak Street. Come see us. I'll be there.
All right. Paul, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you think you have a hidden treasure, email pictures and a description to GoodDayAtlanta@foxtv.com. And you can follow Paul Brown on Twitter @AuctionKingATL. I know I'll be doing that.
Please do.
Follow me back, please.
All right.
19 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour.